Celebrating 50 years of The Young and the Restless with a gala and anniversary week was a blast. All these good points with very few poor ones. Let's check it out. It's obvious that the actors are attempting to create an endearingly timid romance between Billy and Chelsea, but the audience isn't buying it. There are problems with the lack of chemistry and the background of the characters, but worse is that their sequences are utter bores. Chelsea was much more interesting as a villain than as a saint. Thus it was a mistake for the writers to try to turn her into one. It was wonderful to be together again. The returns were a highlight of the evening for me. But I felt that Nina and Gina's return was overshadowed by the focus on Phyllis, and I didn't get to see nearly enough of them. But I really liked the scene where Nina told Abby exactly how she felt, and how it led to Jill and Christine talking about Christine's own history. Meanwhile, Jana returned to her normal routine as if she had never been absent. Some of the 50th anniversary returnees would be very valuable to us if we could preserve them. If Lily, Devon, and Nate aren't going to bring Drew back to life, then maybe they should turn to Mamie for some stability. You can count on him to cheat. When it came to the fight to recover Hamilton Winters, I was on Devon's side, but I can't say the same about his private life. I appreciate that he was trying to make amends with Amanda, but that whole moment on the red carpet was awkward. As if it were the least she could do, he insisted that she hang around to listen to his story. Devon, listen up, she owes you nothing. When she warned Abby about how dishonest he is, did anyone else applaud her? Prediction: after Elena loses Nate to Victoria, he will have sex with Elena. Hands down. That Elena has reached the point of no return with Nate and Victoria is hilarious. Bringing GT back, or trying to bring him back, will likely backfire on her. How? Nate will be angry at her for upsetting poor Victoria, and rather than growing closer to her, he will push her away. It's a terrible idea, but Audra presumably knew that already. Next major headache. If we're talking about Audra, she seems to have Nate in her sights, but she's also weighing her other options. The discovery of Kyle Abbott's phone just solidified her resolve to finally see him. Kyle didn't mind this at all. Find out why we think Summer will have a lot of problems with Audra soon. Almost as if Allison Lanier had verified it. Naturally, Supergirl's mother's problems come first and foremost, which will undoubtedly amount to a lot. Implementing the plan. Even though he didn't say much at the event, Tucker still managed to steal a show this week. The situations are hilarious because of his barely contained amusement at all the folks who come at him. It's amazing to watch him and Ashley play off of one another and see how far he can press her buttons. At the gala, back at the Abbott mansion, he smirked and played devil's advocate, while Ashley rantingly criticized Diane, and then nonchalantly proposed to her, which cracked her up. I appreciate it, but I'll have to decline, I laughed. Obviously, Tucker has a hidden objective with Ashley despite his jovial and relaxed demeanor. I don't know what he plans to do yet, but if he can convince her to get married, he'll have some control over his debt. It has to do with his business, I'm sure of it. Post your guesses as to Tucker's whereabouts and activities here. Getting nearer? I couldn't help but chuckle at Nick and Sally's exchange when they saw Phyllis, Jack, and Diane arguing. How about we go get that cheeseburger now? Really funny. Adam then walked off without Sharon, out of worry for Sally and the baby, which brought us a little bit closer to a reconciliation between the two of them. Coming full circle, it was intriguing that Adam mentioned Chance to Sharon during the event. Thus, perhaps there is still hope that the writers will eventually visit that location. My interest is piqued. I thought it was great that Phyllis and Diane finally had a fight, and it was definitely one for the record books. It would have been so much fun to watch the catfight from the wings, wouldn't it? The honesty of Jack's feelings has always won me over, but I can't bear him in this Phyllis/Diane nonsense. When Jack announced his engagement at the gala, I felt the same way Nikki did, that all her hard work had been for naught. The fact that I knew how Newman felt about Diane only made things worse. Phyllis's warning that no one is thrilled for him and they're all laughing at him was included in the script. Indeed, Victor was a fool. Jeremy and Phyllis's scheme, which relied heavily on a stroke of luck, relied heavily on Jack and Diane making their big reveal, but hey. Phyllis's emotional release, "I just can't understand this," was played brilliantly by Michelle Stafford. In the moments before she passed out, how exciting was it when Jeremy finally let it slip that he and Phyllis had tied the knot? Whether or not that's accurate, it still comes as quite a shock. As for Phyllis, I wouldn't be shocked if the news came out that she had passed away. After all, for weeks now, there has been widespread speculation that she will stage her own murder and blame it on Diane. I'm still not sure how they'll pull that off, but I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, Phyllis will likely disappear or start a new life somewhere else using a different alias. Maybe she meant it when she told Jeremy that she'd have to lie to him every day for the rest of her life if they went through with it. Since there has been no word that Michelle Stafford will be departing young and restless, I anticipate that this will remain a mystery for only a limited time. That's just how I feel. Your thoughts on the gala are welcome in the space provided below.